Hi, and welcome to Pillow Talk with Angela. The time has come. I know I've been doing a couple of lives, letting everybody know he's here. Well, he is here. He's backstage, Grammy nominated, Soul Train Award winning, singing his behind off from the DMV. My dear friend, I'm so happy that he is back on Pillow Talk with Angela. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, stop what you do and give him some love, as Steve Harvey would say. Kenny Lattimore.
How are you? Thank you
Oh
so
my
much for having me.
goodness, it's
Hey,
been too long.
way too long, and but we've been busy, so I guess
Yeah,
busy's good.
busy's
Especially
good.
in the climate we've gone through so many
Yeah,
transitions in
yeah,
this new pandemic thing that
yeah,
hopefully is on its way out.
yeah.
I don't.
Prayerfully.
Did you ever get the
No,
virus? Good,
thank God
excellent,
I
excellent,
did
excellent. You
not.
didn't.
And I feel, did you?
I actually did on the
Oh,
end of it, like in the last
oh,
several months. So I just want you to know that in the event that anything happened that you got it, it's more like a cold now. It's not if you've been
okay.
vaccinated and all that. I don't know if you've been
Yeah,
vaccinated and all, but if you've been vaccinated, it's more like catching a cold or flu.
yeah.
And
I have
yeah,
vaccinated. Whatever boosters are coming to me, I'm like,
yeah.
just give it all to me. I'm not trying to, I'm
I
not trying
hear
to
you.
catch
I hear
anything.
it wasn't fun at all. It was, but
Yeah.
it was exhausting more than anything else. But thank God, a
Mm,
lot of the old symptoms are not what exist right now.
yeah. That's, what I heard. A lot of
Mhm,
people, like most of my friends
mhm,
who were vaccinated ended
mhm.
up getting it. And they
Yeah.
said the worst part about it was the energy drain, just
Yep.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like a
what it
bad
feels
cold.
like. You have a bad cold, but initially your body just zaps out of all of its energy like,
Yeah. I hate that.
I don't even know how to explain it, but we're back, and we
There you
went through
go.
that process in a few days, and I'm what was interesting is I came home from Europe and I did not want to give it to my wife. I was like, oh
Oh,
gosh, we got to, she's never
oh,
had it either.
yeah.
So I did the
Yeah. What do you
isolation,
do?
and you isolate. I isolated in my office. I have like a portable bed in there, and stayed there for days. And
Oh,
she was bringing me
put the
soup and
food,
bringing
put
me
the
all kind
food
of
at
stuff.
the door.
Yeah, that's a different kind of pillow talk, right?
Right. Oh,
She'd
but
come in
that's love.
and serve me, and until I got better. And all of a sudden, you take another test, and it's like, oh, I'm negative, and it's an interesting process, but we made it.
Did she end up getting it at all?
She's never had it, never had it. So
Good.
yeah,
Very, very. She's like
yeah,
me. How
yep,
are you guys doing? I mean, you're a married man and you've got, you know how much I love KJ,
yeah. He's fantastic
your
too. Yeah.
Kenny Jr.
Oh man, it has
But
been
uh,
like
you
a
got,
dream.
yeah,
It really has. It's been like a dream because when you and I know that you understand this being a newlywed,
yes.
um,
So
that when
excited.
you find someone who is truly compatible with you, um, it's always going to be work. So let me
Yeah.
not, for those of us that are listening, we're going to be real in this pillow talk now. It's always going to
Yes.
be some work because you're two different people coming from two different ideas, two different backgrounds and all. But what's so wonderful is when you find somebody who's committed to the same commitment that you are,
Mm.
and you get together, and it's like you take your superpowers and create something that allows you to soar. That's what I feel
Oh,
like. That's exactly what I feel like.
oh,
And then
gosh.
even how she deals with KJ, who you mentioned. I appreciate you mentioning him.
I
My
love him.
my
Mm.
19-year-old son.
He's 19.
He is 19 years old, away at college, doing well. I I'm super proud of him as well. He wants to do music, but I told him,
Oh,
I said, you can always do music, but how about you study in school business, because that way it kind
okay.
of balances out some of the dreams that you have and allows you to support those dreams on your own.
Yeah,
And he's like, yeah, that
it's
makes sense.
good.
This generation, you have to tell them things that make sense.
Right. They're not here for the just make believe and making them feel good. But
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
him, and it's
yeah,
so smart because there's music and
yeah.
the music
And there's
business.
the
That's the
business. Yep,
biggest. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
So I heard a rumor that there's another baby on the way. Is this true?
On the way. Yes. We're super
Okay.
excited. We just announced, we just finished the first trimester.
Oh,
And we decided to wait because, just being cautious and just making sure that once we gave the announcement that we were ready to fortify that with answers, like you asking me this now, yes,
right. Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's so many things that happen, but we were blessed that we're in a good place and we're looking for. I hope it's a girl. I want to be a girl dad and have that
yeah.
experience since I have my
Oh,
prince already. So
yes,
yeah,
you might as well have your princess.
yeah.
Congratulations to you and
Thank you.
congratulate. Oh, and hey, Lisa. Lisa says congratulations.
Thank
That's
you. Hey,
actually
Lisa.
that's my cousin. Hi, Lisa. In Atlanta.
Hey.
I love whenever I have an opportunity, whenever you're performing
Mhm.
in town, whether we're home
Oh,
in DC
yeah.
or wherever you are, and you always say, Angela, will you bring me on stage? And I
Ah,
I
thank you. You've done that so many
I
times for
and
me.
I'm honored. I'm like, wherever I am, if you are there, this is what we do.
Yeah.
So, but what I love about your concerts is you and correct me because I'm probably going to butcher this, but you say, I want to speak to the minds of men and to the hearts of women. Is that
Mhm,
right? Or
mhm.
is it the
That's
other
right.
way around?
The other way, but you got the details right.
Oh, it's the
To the
other way.
Yeah, to the
Okay,
hearts
you
of
say it.
women and the minds of men to encourage you in love. And I know that a lot of times in this R&B thing, we're always doing "Oh, I can do this better than your man, and
Yeah,
I can do that, and I can take you from your man," all that foolishness.
right.
It's not a part of my agenda. Oh,
Never.
I'm sorry, and I shouldn't have said foolishness because actually in the creative art, there are lots of things that people can do that may not match what I do.
Okay. That's
But
fair.
yeah, and there's some great songs that are in that vein. So let me not say foolishness. I know some great songs in that vein and with that message, but it's not my message.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is come in and encourage you. I come from gospel and
Yeah.
gospel and inspirational music, and was probably reluctant being a sex symbol. I saw that written about me one time, the reluctant sex symbol.
You're like, really?
I
Okay,
was like,
then.
wow. Okay.
Okay, then.
But I think it was really because I just came from a different type of background. And I think people sometimes stereotype Black men and they put us in
Mm,
this category where um, he has to be this way in order to be a Black man. He
yeah.
has to be like over sexual and this has to be his agenda and all of that. And I've always gone against that whole grain,
Mhm.
not because that man doesn't exist, but because there's so much more that exists about
Oh, I
us.
love it.
And
Yeah.
so from the beginning with the NAACP winning the Image Award, I remember going up feeling like, oh my God, my mom, who's no longer with us, would have been super proud
Yeah.
because she raised me to be lyric conscious and care about people and be uh, a person of understanding that I have a power with my
Mhm.
platform. Like you have this
Mm,
wonderful platform to reach the masses, and then
mm.
what you decide to do with it means a lot. It's not just one dimensional. It's not
That's
just a
right.
record. We used to say that all the time. Oh, it's just a record. It's just a
Yeah.
song. It's just something that is
Mm,
just something that can change somebody's life.
right.
It's something
Absolutely.
that people are like, oh my gosh, you did this, you said that, and it gave me a different perspective. So we can't minimize the power of our
Yeah.
platforms.
It's so powerful, and I'm
Yeah,
glad that you own your power
absolutely.
as a sex symbol because there's no way you can get away from that. I mean, say what you want, but it is what it is. And
I've
that's a
grown into it. I think
yes.
I think I've embraced it a lot more, and you can see it on stage,
Oh
everything.
yeah, I see it all
Um,
the time. I mean, and I love it. I love it. I mean, why not? I mean, this is a God-given talent.
but you
And
know what it
with
is? Oh no, let me listen to what you're saying first, because I do
well,
want
I was just going to say, I love that you recognize that with
to.
the platform, it comes with responsibility.
Yes,
So,
yes.
as a sex symbol, as a beautiful Black man who sings
Thank you.
beautifully, you use your platform to, put God's message out there and God is love.
Yeah, yeah.
And, so
Yes,
right.
absolutely. And you know what's really funny is coming from a lot of times people lump different things together. God, love, church.
Hmm.
Coming from church, I come from the era where it didn't mix as well.
Right. Yeah,
But I have to say this, and I say it gingerly because I respect the church and I respect how I grew up and everything. But sometimes church and religion doesn't always line up with really who God is. It
I
doesn't. It doesn't
agree.
always line up with His Spirit,
Yeah,
how He deals with people. So a lot of times I tell they're like, "Oh, what do you believe?" and all that. And I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, the principles of Jesus Christ. So the way that He dealt with people was loving because
mhm,
God is love,
mm,
and not condemning and trying to tear folks down to lift
right.
somebody else up, and you know, there are times where we have to tell hard truths,
Yeah, but it's
but
truth.
it's truth,
Yeah,
yeah. And when you're telling a hard truth to a child, you don't kill them with it.
yeah,
When you tell the truth to an adult, you shouldn't kill them with it.
yeah.
It should be a gentle spirit. And
Mm.
that's the way I've read about, Jesus Christ to be, so that makes me wanna be more like that,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
gentle.
Kenny. I mean, I love that because that's another thing that could easily go into your description. You
Mm,
are definitely a gentle spirit. You're a
thank
sweet,
you.
sweet soul. And this is, on camera, off camera. You're consistently that.
I
And
appreciate
yeah, yeah, it's the truth. And,
it.
and so when I thought about what I wanted to talk about,
Uh-huh.
on Pillow Talk, I thought about you. I thought about, as I mentioned earlier, even though I butchered the order of it, but,
No, no, you
you
still did
know,
well. That you even remembered it in that much detail.
uh,
I love it. I
because
love it.
it's powerful. And I think, oftentimes, you speak about, the child and the adult. As adults, we don't have a manual,
Mhm,
when it comes to how to do well in a relationship. How am I
mhm.
supposed to treat this person I'm in love with? And,
Yeah,
oftentimes, people are in our ears that really shouldn't be in our ears, and you're kind of going through the motions and doing what you know, but
mhm.
it's not necessarily the best way to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And
I agree.
so there's this conversation that is going around. It's pretty much going viral where this guy is saying, women, have you ever been around guys who just really don't like women?
Mm,
They tolerate women. They're not sexually attracted to other guys.
mhm,
So they just tolerate women for sex,
mm,
but they really would rather just be with guys. And that there are
mm,
some women
mm,
who feel the same way. They hate men,
mm.
but sexually they're not attracted to
It's
their
not
own
that, yes.
sex.
Okay.
So they just
Mm,
get with the guys for sex, on both
mm,
sides. So
mm.
it's an interesting
That is interesting.
concept,
Wow.
isn't it? I
Wow.
mean, but
And I
why not?
understand it.
Yeah, me
I
too. When I think about it,
yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you think is going on? What do you think that's about?
Um, it's layered. I think it's
Yeah,
layered with one dimension of a person who, it may be easier to hang out and
with
be
with your
around
same
the same
sex.
sex because we relate to so many different things on the same level. You might have a guy that comes in who's a little more emotional, or a guy that comes in who's a little more thug or whatever. But for the most
Right.
part, you're still relating on basic things. And it takes a little more effort to understand a woman's perspective if you have not been around women. So then it
Hmm.
leads me to the other layer. Have you been around women? Who are the women that you've been around? Have they been
That one.
healthy women? If you've been around healthy women, like I grew up around like mostly women, have a great father, and I have a great bonus dad or stepdad, but I call him my
Yeah,
bonus dad.
I like that.
So having good men in my life, but being around a lot of men. Not only have I been around good women, I've been around strong, very opinionated, very solid women.
I'm thinking about your sisters.
Yeah, my sisters and my mother,
Mhm,
and big personalities,
mhm.
which may have tr- uh, contributed to making me the man that I am today, making my
Mm.
spirit a little more gentle because it was like, okay, y'all show out, y'all do your thing,
Yeah, I'm just
and let
gonna.
me just sit back. Let me just observe. I don't have to do anything to assert myself. You guys have so much going on, and it's great and it's beautiful and it's loving
Yeah,
because my mother would fight for me, my sister would fight for me. They would,
yeah,
go in like
yeah.
aggressively. This is our family. This is my brother, my little
It's
brother, my big brother,
beautiful.
whatever. So
Yeah.
all of that going on, I spent a lot of time talking with women growing up as a kid.
Mhm.
So from my perspective, oh man, I love it. You get a whole different kind of conversation talking to women, and you get
Yeah,
a
you
whole
do.
different depth and insight. So I used to hang with. I think I hung with. I had my best friends, my buddy Mark, and I had a couple other best friends. But for the most part, I remember talking to his sister Andrea a lot. My other friend Andrea, I remember talking with and my sister. So if I wanted to know something about a girl, I talked to my sister.
There you go. You'll get the
I
real
didn't go to
deal.
another guy and go, "Yo, what should I do?" Blah blah blah. My
Right.
sister, when I was in middle school, she'd be like, "Oh, put this chain, tie a tie, put a tie on, and go to junior high school or middle school, and then put a
Mm.
chain around it and go in. The girls are gonna like that." And I
Okay.
would,
Okay. And it worked.
and they would be like, "Wow, who is this guy?" And you either got, "Oh, he thinks he's cute," or like, "What is he trying to do?"
Right.
Or you got, "Oh, that looks really nice." And
Yeah.
you got that in layers. You got it from mature women like teachers who are affirming. And
Yeah.
then eventually you get it from your peers.
Eventually. Because kids are cruel. Kids can
Kids are
be really
cruel
cruel.
and they
Yeah.
want to figure out what's different about you so that they can say you're not a part of whatever's going on.
Exactly.
But I was not that guy. I was the one that didn't want to be like you.
See, that's
I was
brave.
like,
That's brave. It's
yeah.
brave growing up,
I just
right?
wanted to be different. But I wasn't like a Lenny Kravitz, eclectic different because like people that grew up with him that are friends of mine, because I've met him a couple times, I don't know him very well, but they say yes, he was always this way, and like an
Oh,
eccentric, ever since he was like in middle school or high school or whatever, which is great because that's authentically who he is.
he's amazing. Man, we got to get
Yeah.
him on the show.
Oh man, I know he'd have a lot to say. I think he'd have a lot to
Woo!
give.
Yeah, but and you're right. I mean, it is all the things that you mentioned,
Mhm,
when again, when I saw the topic, I think I was just scrolling through
mhm,
Instagram and some guy was just, going on and on and on about this whole thing.
mhm,
There was a guy who came to mind
mhm,
who said, he's like, you know what? I like you,
mhm.
but I don't like women. And I thought, wow,
Wow,
that was interesting. And I think he
wow.
meant it. I think he really
Mm.
meant it.
Mhm,
Straight,
mhm,
straight guy,
mhm,
but he really didn't, he didn't like women. And,
mhm,
the things that he would talk about, women
mhm.
who were just loud and, would complain a lot. And, I think one of the points that you brought out, it depends on the type of women that I think you're hanging out with.
Yeah. And it depends on how you were raised. There are men whose grandmothers or mothers beat them.
Yeah.
And that kind of physical abuse translated for a man into an emasculation.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so when I've seen that happen before too. So when you see the dynamic of them with a woman, there's a lot of resistance and there's a lot of push and pull that for a man that grew up healthier emotionally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Um, so it really does. It depends on your history. Who were the women that helped you to form this foundational belief or thought,
Yeah.
and then
Interesting.
and then it goes on into your actual experiences with the opposite sex. But you're right. Yeah, if you're around gregarious women, then that's what you have to say. It's not that I don't like women.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like
A
a
type.
gregarious, a type of woman who has a bigger personality,
Right.
for whatever reason. It embarrasses me,
Yeah.
or I feel that it overshadows who I am.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
And
we
that's a
could dig
whole
deeper into ourselves
yeah,
for those answers.
it's a whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, doing what I do,
Mhm.
we come across a whole lot of situations. And in fact, you and your beautiful wife, you guys have gone kind of on the circuit or at least online, and you were doing
We
some
did, yeah.
pillow talking of sorts. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
talking about just couple stuff. I mean, there's so
Yeah,
many different things that come up, different things that people deal with in relationship. As you mentioned
absolutely.
earlier, you're two individuals coming together trying to make this thing work.
Mhm.
And, both of you having the commitment,
Mm,
making the commitment to the commitment
mhm.
is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And even how we approach that. Okay, great. I'm bringing a certain celebrity and
Oh,
a
yeah.
certain s- again a platform. She's bringing another type of celebrity,
Yeah.
completely different type of
Right.
platform, different types of people watching her, different types of people watching me. So when we came together, I think we were still careful about uh, what how we put our marriage on the platforms.
Hmm.
That we weren't necessarily trying to give the world everything and reveal everything as much as we were like, let's work some things out. But let's be honest, we can talk about how we met. We can talk
Yeah.
about different challenges and things that go on, and then let's go back to privacy. Let's go back to
I like that.
working our way out, so that we don't allow other people to get in to a point that's not healthy.
Yeah, because
Because
that's
when
a
you're so
problem.
it's a problem. People think that celebrities are not real people.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. And things that people, who are hiding behind, their desk and, probably a fake name
Right.
and just all in your business and
All up in it, right.
spewing, whatever lies that somebody else and
Mm.
just all wrong.
Yeah, or making
And
up whatever. Yeah,
making up whatever oftentimes. But, I'm glad that creatively you just keep it flowing. I
yeah.
love your new project, Here to Stay.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh.
Oh.
There's one of the songs, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh
Mm.
my God, uh, Lose You. In fact, I used
Oh,
it in
lose
the
you.
poster. It is so nice. Do you mind? Could I just play a little bit of
I
it for
would
those
love
who,
for you to play it.
yeah?
I would
All right,
love
here
for
we go. And then we're going to talk about the song.
Okay.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Mm.
Why would I do something to lose you? Like your heart isn't valued. Love is there like I told you. My consistency is what sold you. Reassurance is what I'm willing to give. Forever is the name of the game. With
Hmm.
age things change, but lovers stay the same, babe. Won't give you a reason to go crazy. This love don't come with maybes. I don't gotta yell for you to hear me. I don't gotta speak for you to feel me. As long
Hmm.
as I won't get passive. Words do help, but watch my actions. Oh, why would I do something to lose you?
Woo, baby.
Why would I do something to lose you? Why would I do something to lose you? Why would I do something to lose you? Why would I do like I
I could
let
play this
God
whole
is
thing.
reckless or selfish or
Oh my
disrespectful?
goodness. It's
Oh, thank you
beautiful.
so much.
Oh,
Gosh, I have to give credit to several people. The producer of this album is a young man named Madison. Is what he calls. His name is Drakkar Wesley. We call him Madison. He's a phenomenal artist, and he really conceptually put together the whole, like every single song he touched and helped me to
mm,
perfect. And I wanted it to be, it's not the first time because he worked on my last album. He worked on the album before that. But this was really his project that I said, I want you to take it and run with it. So
nice.
when Lose You came up, it was a music track that was done by Aaron Lindsay, who is a very extremely famous gospel producer, but he does R&B as well. He did "Stay on Your Mind,"
Okay.
and his daughter Kennedy was playing around with these chords, and we heard those chords, and we were like, "We want that," you know, because
What?
a lot of times you hear chords and it inspires a lyric or it inspires an idea.
Mm.
And when we heard that, it was just like, wow. So Madison came in and he just started. It was like he was rapping over the track initially. That's why it comes off
Ah,
like I'm the guy that's reckless, so selfish, so
yeah.
disrespectful. What is it? He just went on, and I was like, wow. And I kept thinking to myself, I got to do that. I got to
Oh,
figure out how. Whew.
get put on a different hat.
Right, put on a whole different hat. It's like, oh, okay. But and then we had a guy who we call Natural out here in LA, Touch It, and he gave all the atmospheric sounds and everything to it.
Mm.
And I just remember leaving the mix session where the atmospheric things had been added. And I was just like, wow, I don't know that everybody's ready for this.
Oh, it's
I was like, they're
beautiful.
really ready for this for me.
Yeah.
But I was happy because music continues to be a place of growth and learning for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not getting I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm Kenny Lattimore. This is what I sound like, and this is my performance, and this is what I'm giving. I'm constantly in a space of, okay, can I do this? Can I push
Mm.
and can I sing with this synchronized pace and then kind of rap sing this part over it and then go back and and do it authentically?
That's the
Because
part,
that's it.
because you do it, but you don't depart from your
Thank you.
style and what we've come to just love about
Mhm.
your music. It's like
And I
you're
yeah,
still right there.
I appreciate it. And I have to give again thanks to Madison because the moment that it gets inauthentic or pretentious, it's almost like he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, no, this doesn't work.
Oh, good, good. You
Being
need that,
accountable.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
especially with your
even though he's a younger generation, I get to learn under a younger person. And
good
that takes some
humility.
adjusting and humility, and
Yeah.
I try to exude that in all and not just be, oh, I'm okay in this area, but not that. I try to consistently be that. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, 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 it's okay because you're right on point. I mean, the fact that you do continue to grow and that you are open to doing new things and trying this and trying that, if it fits,
Yes, if it fits.
that keeps you alive in this business.
Yeah.
Because, if you just stay right there, then nobody cares,
Right,
right?
right.
It's
Isn't that
like,
true?
okay, we've heard
You're like,
that
okay, we've
song
heard that before.
already.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, what else you
Oh,
got?
yeah, we'll go back and play the old album. It's
Right.
like,
If you
oh.
I know how this thing goes.
Right.
No, it's beautiful. So there's another one that I really like. Um, what is it? Take a dose?
Take a dose, and that's the latest single right now.
Ooh,
Oh,
can I play a little bit of that?
please, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. And I love the video. I went to
I'm just
YouTube.
oh, thank you.
I
I'm
was
just
kind of
learning how to
stalking.
perform it.
I mean, oh, oh, it's beautiful. Mhm.
Sometimes it's hard to describe your love, yeah. Cause it's one of one. You show me new ways to be emotional. And it feels so good. You and me.
Yes.
I'm your king and my queen. So heavenly. You get all of me. Never gotta question my intentions. My heart is always open. I listen. This could be so simple. Make you believe your soul can't feel no better. I'ma show you, baby. Show you in so many ways. Be patient. There's a million things that can hurt you. Let me be your forever medicine. Take a
Yeah.
dose, I'll cure you. You ain't gotta love, my love get you high. Take a dose, I'll heal you. You ain't gotta love, my love get you high. Take a dose, I'll heal you. My love come alive for you. Forever in your life, I do. Your love make me recharge and it's free of charge. Every night a bedroom for two. I'm the star, but girl, you got that glow. To me, all your flaws are beautiful, baby. Just bring it closer. Always do me right, so tonight I'm all in your aura. Say my name, won't ignore you, I adore you. We ain't never gotta make up like Sephora, cause I'm in tune. I'm your protector, I'll pray for you. Now I gotta bless you. There's a million things that can hurt you. Let me be your forever medicine. Take a dose, I'll cure you. You ain't gotta lie.
That's what I'm talking about.
Take a dose, I'll cure you. You ain't gotta lie. Take a dose and I'll heal you. You ain't gotta lie. Take a dose, I'll cure you. You ain't gotta get you high. Take a dose, I'll heal you. I can cure you. I can heal you. I can cure you. I can cure you.
I can't even stop it.
I can cure you.
Oh, Kenny, this is beautiful. It is really
Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
I mean, and the lyrics,
Ah.
what woman doesn't want to hear every single word? It's like, wait a minute, what'd you say?
We ain't never gotta make up like Sephora, okay? Because I'm in tune.
Oh
When I heard that too,
I'm all
again,
in
give
your
it to
aura.
Madison. I'm all in your yeah. And
Oh,
I see Andrea. Andrea, we see you there. The album is actually out. This is what has happened. Oh wow, this is an interesting part of something you might be able to shed some light with me on. We are such in a digital age that when I first put this project out, I started with a single called Pressure. And then we introduced
I love
Lose You and now Take a Dose. But Take a Dose is the first song that we're going to terrestrial radio and all outlets with. So
nice.
what's been interesting is hearing where people consume music from, because there are ideas that, oh, everything is dead except streaming or what have you. And it's
Right.
just not true.
It's not true.
I mean, we know that because we're at radio when songs are still going number one, is because you're hearing them everywhere. I hear them on the car when I'm driving. There's different times I listen to satellite. There's different times I listen to regular radio. There's different times when I just listen to my device or what have you.
Right.
But in terms of consuming and learning about new music, we have to, as adults, we have to figure out where we want to consume music and how we normally do it, what's natural to us, so that we are not put into this category. Again, people, it's like now we're stereotyping buyers. You're going to lose sales by doing that.
Yeah.
You got to go where the people are, even if the formats are changing over. We remember when cassettes were changing over to CDs.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it was like,
Be
oh
who
Lord.
listens to-
Yeah.
Cassettes were so yesterday.
Right. But it took a while. It takes a few years. The devices change, all that, and eventually it moves over. But in this digital age, it's a little different, with the
So I
streaming
bet
and the
it's
subscriptions and the
a bit
downloading.
challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Daryl. Yeah,
Girl, hi, what's up, buddy?
yay. So, I mean, we have these conversations all the time, and WHUR has been the #1 music station in the DMV for quite a while now. And I'm so proud of that, but I get it. I mean, when it comes to good music, we're
Yeah.
here for it. And, we've got, of course, Al Payne, our program director, Tracy Luttrell, the best music director in the business. And, and of course, all the on-air personalities, our ears are in tune to the good
That's right.
music.
And I talk about HUR around the world.
Thank you.
The entire world. I talk
Thank
about the
you.
influence of WHUR. It's a part of my set.
It is a part of your set.
Yeah, it's a part of my
I've seen
set.
it. I've seen it.
Because it's truth. It's truth. It's truth. I love it.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I love that just what you're doing with your music. I mean, your music is all about love. It's all about, just connecting with your partner and just like we were just listening to your music and you're saying all the things that
Mm,
people want to hear from their mate. Sometimes
mm,
you think, he knows I love him or oh, she knows.
yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
baby, we just want to hear you
Just want to
say
hear
it.
you. That's right. That's right.
you know? So you
And for
set the
we guys,
stage.
for we guys who may not know, this is a difference between men and women, okay? Because women are socialized differently than
Yes.
men growing up. You are more in tune in expressing your feelings in a way that anybody can understand. Oh, this is how I feel, and you can break it down. We're socialized where, well, the generation is changing because I think my son is different than I was.
Okay.
I still come from the generation where it's like we're not supposed to talk about things emotional. We're talking, certain things make you effeminate they kind of emasculating. I don't
Yeah.
even know how you'd say it. But now we're in this space where the new generation talks a lot more. I had
I,
three, you know my dad too very well.
yes, I do. You're his
So
mini me.
yeah.
Let's just
So there were three of us because it's like my dad, me, and then my son. We lived in the same household for a
and you
number of
look just
years.
alike. They all three of them look just alike.
But I tell you, you could see the generational gaps, and we had to work through those generational gaps because sometimes my dad would be like, "You spoiling him," and I'm like, "No, I'm just listening to what he has to say." And I was in
There
the
you go.
and he's like, "No," because he's from the generation where kids were spoken to, but they weren't supposed to say anything back.
Seen
That
and not
seen and
heard.
not heard, yeah. And then my son is like, "Oh my gosh, you guys aren't letting me get my emotions out." And I'm like, "What in the world?" Because I didn't even have that.
And
I
you're
was
in the
like,
middle.
and I'm in the middle, so I was like, "What is this?" But I think that we as men are learning how to be more expressive about how we feel emotionally. And
Yeah.
that's what that song is even about. Even though I'm saying, take a dose, I'll heal you and I'll cure you of things. But it talks about her making me feel that I can be emotional,
Mm.
making me comfortable in that space.
Oh, yeah. But you know
Faith and I
what?
were on. Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No, no,
cut
I
you
was
off,
just
but
thinking. No, Faith and I were on Tamron Hall, and we were
nice.
talking about that emotional space. How do you create
Yeah.
safety
It's
in
so,
that?
I mean, that's a big deal because, as you mentioned, I'm a newlywed.
Mhm.
And, my husband, I love saying that. My husband,
Yeah,
my
I love
husband's
it.
name is Ken. And
Oh, nice.
one of the things that he said to me early on is that he loves that I just let him be himself and that he has the space to just, if he needs to go into his office is his man cave.
Mhm, mhm.
But if he needs to go in there and process, I'm like, you just do it. And, when you come up for air, we can
Mhm,
talk about it or
mhm.
whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But sometimes, just allowing each other
Mm.
the space to
Yes.
communicate however you do it,
Mhm.
but and to learn how to hear you and see you in the way that you're comfortable in expressing it.
Yeah, yeah,
Meaning, just because you're not saying it the way I need you to say it doesn't mean that you're not trying to communicate. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That both of
yeah,
us, we both have to really listen and learn each other.
yeah. And that's beautiful that you understand that. It takes radical acceptance,
Yeah.
and then to allow him to be in that space and not take it personal like it's about you, but
Yeah. And
understanding that he
that's,
is in his process,
yeah,
huge.
that's a journey though. You,
Mhm, yeah,
you, you figure it out. And I think it's when you really love someone, like you were saying, you find someone who really gets you and you want to spend the rest of your days with them. This is
yes,
that.
yeah.
And so I want to figure it out. It's like, but at first I did. I was like, well, why is he in
Mhm,
there?
mhm.
Don't you want to? I'm
Be here.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out
Mhm.
here. But
And then
then
to
you're
a
like,
degree, he has to push out of that space too.
and exactly. And
But you
so,
make it safe for him to go, "You know what? She really wants me."
yeah,
Even though I'm processing, let me take the time to articulate that it usually takes me
Yeah.
about this much time to process. If
Yeah.
I hurt, if something happens, some people bounce back immediately.
Some
Some people are
don't.
like, I need a week, you know. And I
Right.
know that's a tough space to be in, but
But it's true though. If they need the week, you gotta give them the week.
right,
It won't be good if you don't.
right, because then it could be a month, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But these are things that you just
Yeah,
you can't grow if you're not willing to just,
yeah,
take a look at it and figure it out.
yes,
By
absolutely.
yourself, you're good. I mean, being single, I love being single,
Hmm,
but
hmm.
I love this way more.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think, right. I mean, I think it's the only way you can really,
yeah,
this is what I think, grow as an individual because by yourself, everything is wonderful. I'm good.
yeah,
What? I'm
yeah.
good.
Oh my
But
gosh,
when you've got this mirror right in front of you
all the
calling you
time.
on your stuff, you're like, and because
Yeah.
it's them, you listen because love is at the base of what they're
Ooh.
saying. They're not saying this to hurt you. They're saying
Yep.
this because it's probably true.
That's a powerful word you just
You
gave.
grow.
You grow. And I think
Yeah.
that a lot of people they need to hear exactly what you're saying. That it's a great way to grow because it's like you're choosing someone to be accountable to
Yeah,
for your past, present, and future.
that's right.
And you're
Someone you really
giving them the
trust.
space, somebody you really trust to be in that space and to call it out in love.
Yeah.
And it's, Faith and I used to talk a lot about how if we're ever in that space, we have to remember we're on the same team. We're on the
Yes.
same team. We're playing the same game and we're on the same team. We're running in the same direction. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to knock you off the game. I need you
Right.
to be at your best so that we can win. So
Yeah.
having that kind of
Oh,
attitude going in it,
I
is what
love
keeps you
it.
there.
Yeah, and I love your comments too. Don't think we're not. I'm putting your comments up as soon as you put it. So we love what you're saying.
Yes.
Intimacy at its
Yes.
best, Andrea. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I mean, and we could talk about this all night. I
Yeah.
oh my
True.
gosh,
It's
we've been
true.
on here longer than I intended to keep you. I so appreciate you
No,
in
I
so many
appreciate
ways.
you. This is a very on another end because I know this is about love and relationship, but I have to say this that this is a love and relationship that's been in existence for years. I love
Yeah,
Angela. Angela's been there for me,
I
and right
love
now,
you too.
even my career, Take a Dose being my single, you giving me your
Mm,
platform to expose that
mm.
song is a part of our relationship.
Yes, it's a
It's even beyond
beautiful.
the song, it beyond all of that. I just
Yeah.
appreciate, wow, I'm here
Oh.
and, yeah, I'm grateful. I just want you to always know that I
Oh,
appreciate
that's don't make me cry.
you.
But thank you for saying that, and I love and
Absolutely.
appreciate you too, and you're
Thank you.
you're just a gem. I mean, we're all so proud of you in the DMV. We love that this is your hometown and that you
Yep.
claim it and you let everybody know and you come back and you're coming back this weekend, and I
Yes!
hope
Fort DuPont Park.
yes.
I've never done Fort DuPont Park all
Oh,
these
you
years.
haven't? Oh, it's an
Never done it.
amazing.
So I get to close out the summer, music series. I think it's the end
Oh,
of it, but,
oh,
so
that's
anybody
awesome.
that's listening in DMV, come on out and, check 'cause I know that this platform is larger than just the DMV. It's
Yes, it
everywhere.
is. It's everywhere.
Yep. But if
So
you are
I
in
hope
the area this weekend, yeah.
good. And for those who are not following you on social media, how can they do that?
Oh, wow. At KennyLattimore.com at Instagram. On Facebook, it's official Kenny Lattimore. And I think everything else pretty much is, and I think official Kenny Lattimore on TikTok, if you,
Oh,
but
love it.
really it's more, yeah, I know a lot of my fans are on Facebook and you see the posts and all of the things that we put out. I try to give you a glimpse
That's
into
good.
our lives and what we're doing. And I appreciate so many amazing comments with our new baby on the way and all of that. We've received so much love. I
Ah,
appreciate you.
oh, that's so beautiful. Congratulations on everything. Buy his music. I mean, I know people
Yay!
get their music in different ways. Make sure you support Kenny Lattimore. You're going to be, oh my gosh, you're going to be so happy with the entire, I mean, every single song.
Wow, thank you.
Your producer did his thing with shaping it, and you, of course, brought it with your vocals
Thank
always.
you.
Love you, Kenny. Okay, so there's my allergies are going bananas. It looks
Oh,
like
I
I'm
get
crying,
it.
but
I
I'm
understand.
really not.
Oh, you
Eyes are
look
no,
great
no, no.
though.
Okay, good.
No, it's
Eyes
no,
are
you look
all
good.
weird. But
Uh,
yeah, so I want everybody to make sure they get your music. It's
I
brand new
appreciate that.
and it is absolutely beautiful. Love you, Kenny. Keep doing what you're
Love you
doing. Have
back.
have a great concert at Fort DuPont.
Thank you. Thank you. Take
And
care.
thank you all for watching. This is also going to be on Pillow Talk with Angela on Sunday night, right after the original Quiet Storm. And we're going to play as many tracks as I could play of Kenny Lattimore. Yay! Have a good one. Love you so much.
Love you back.
Bye.
Bye bye.